guys! So about a couple weeks ago I made a video talking about my top 6 favorite female characters, and that was the first part to this whole kind of video series. So this is the second part where I'm going to be talking about my top 6 favorite male characters of all time. Before I start, I'm going to talk about Twitter for a little bit because I asked you guys on Twitter to guess 3 out of the 6 on this list, and I got a few responses. I'm going to mention the names of the people who got 2 out of 3 and also 3 out of 3. If you don't want to be spoiled by the list, don't go in the down bar because all of their guesses will be listed as well as the list that I will be talking about in this video. So if you want everything to be a surprise, then keep watching the video, but if you want to see the list beforehand and if you want to see what their guesses were, definitely check out the down bar because I'll be leaving their Twitter names down there as well. Alright, so the first response I got was from @CaroGarp, and she guessed three different male main characters that would be on my list, and she got 2 out of 3. The next person was from Snow Angel 67, and she guessed 3, and she got 2 out of 3. The third person to guess was Miss Morgan Finley, and she got 3 for 3. Awesome job to everyone who left me those responses and who ended up guessing correctly. If you want to keep up to date with my videos and updates and want to participate in things like that, definitely follow my Twitter link. I'm going to leave it down in the down bar. So without further ado, I'm going to get started with my top 6 favorite main male characters of all time. Number 6 on my list is Adrian from Vampire Academy, and as you guys may or may not know, this is an amazing series. Adrian is very, very hilarious. He is so entertaining to read about. The way he connects with different characters and interacts with them is so funny. He's so humorous. He has a bit of a snarky edge to him. His dialogue and the way he talks to people sometimes is so unbelievable and incredibly funny. Alright guys, so this is the rest of the series. Like I said, the first one is Vampire Academy, the second one's Frostbite, the third one's Shadow Kiss, the fourth one's Spirit Bound, the fifth one is Blood Promise, and the last one is The Last Sacrifice. If I would have made this video about a year ago, I would not have included him on my list, but I included him because recently Richelle Mead came out with her new series, which is the Bloodlines series, and this follows a different main character who you meet in Vampire Academy, but it also includes Adrian, and we get to know him a lot more in this series and we see a lot more of him, and because of that I really appreciated him as a character. We learned more about him, I got to see more of his personality, and I kind of connected more with him. So the first book is Bloodlines, and the second one, which just came out recently, is called The Golden Lily. He is a vampire, he's a Morai, and he has this really kind of dark edge to him. He is a smoker, he's a drinker, he kind of goes all over the place, he's hard to control, he's kind of uncontrollable. He's known for being someone who takes risks and is very daring, but once you get to know him in the Bloodline series, you see how sweet and caring he is, how funny and charming he is, and you can't help but love him. I really am enjoying reading about him in the Bloodline series, and I appreciate him on a whole new level, and all those things combined makes him so real, so relatable, and definitely one of my favorite main characters. Alright guys, so number 5 on my list definitely has to be 4 from the Divergent series. Book number 1 is Divergent, and book number 2, which recently came out in May, is Insurgent. He is so sweet, and he's very caring. He has everyone's best interest. From Divergent to Insurgent, he's a very different person. He evolves into someone who is definitely more soft in a way. He's more you're able to connect with him on a different level because of that, because he shows more of who he is. He's much more guarded in Divergent, and because of that I found him in Divergent very interesting and kind of mysterious, but once you get to the end of this book and you go into Insurgent, you feel much more closer to him. What I also love about 4 is his backstory, where he's come from, where he is now, how he got there, and how essentially that made him who he is. What forms his identity is really, really inspiring and really awesome, and to see him get over his fears and essentially getting to know him and who he is what makes this so great about him and what makes him such a great character alongside of Triss. Just so cool to read about, so definitely check out 4 because he's definitely worth meeting. Alright guys, so number 4 on my top 6 list definitely has to be Jace from the City of Bones, also known as the Mortal Instrument series. His little arrogance sometimes is what makes him who he is, and because of that he earned a spot on my top 6 list. First book, like I said, is City of Bones. We have City of Ashes, which is the second book. Third one is City of Glass. These books are so heavy. Fourth one is City of Fallen Angels. And then the fifth one, which recently came out, is City of Lost Souls. Jace is that main character who I really really kind of read for in this series. He is so awesome, so caring, so nice, and just throughout the books you fall in love with him because you see when him and Claire first meet in the first book to the fourth book where everything has just changed so much in the relationship. But for me, Jace is what makes the relationship so amazing because of how far they've come. He has different layers to him, and throughout the series you see those different layers, and you may think he's that guarded, arrogant guy in the first book, but things change and he becomes that sweet, caring guy who you just want to see good things happen to. You just want to talk about him like you know him, because I feel like I know him. Do you guys feel like you know him? Jace is that guy you just want to have in your life, and sadly he's not in any of our lives, but by reading this series you can kind of feel like he is in your life, and that's what's so great, and that's what makes him so awesome, is because girls everywhere fall in love with him, and that's what makes him such a great and powerful character, because Jace is just Jace, and that's what makes him so awesome. So that's why he is number 4 on my list. And yeah, I just love him to pieces. Alright guys, so number 3 on my list has to be Dimitri from Vampire Academy. He's also in Bloodlines, which is awesome because I still am able to read about him and see him participate in the plot of Bloodlines and interact with different characters. Dimitri is the love romance interest in Vampire Academy. He is the one who meets Rose and things kind of develop and evolve from there. And that's essentially why I was Team Dimitri's, because he's the one we met right off the bat. He's very broad, huge, kind of protector, guardian kind of guy, and that front is definitely not reflective of who he is on the inside, and because of that I really appreciated his soft interior and his hard exterior. He's able to turn on this switch where he becomes this tough guardian, but when that's off and when he's around Rose, he turns into someone who is sweet and caring. I really appreciated his ability to become someone who is caring and loving towards Rose, but then he can become someone who can get the job done and protect the people he cares about. He's just a character you feel like you could rely on and be like best friends with. I just love the way he cared for Rose and the way he saw the true Rose. And if you've read the series, you probably know what I'm talking about, but if you haven't, definitely check it out. Alright guys, so the number 2 spot definitely has to go to Sam from the Shiver series by Maggie Stiefvater. So Shiver is the first book. Then we have Linger, which looks like this, and then the last book in this series was Forever. So I'm trying to think of what I want to say about Sam and what I love about him, but it's really hard for me to pinpoint something in particular. But I'd say the main thing that comes to mind is that he's simply human. He's very poetic. He's so like artistic. He's very poetic, you know, he writes songs, he plays the guitar, and all that together makes him feel so real and so endearing. As you see in this series, the wolf is very strong and it intertwines the love story, and he's able to stay a hold of who he is. Sam also had a rough past, and that's what makes him so realistic, is you're able to kind of relate to all the feelings that he has, and he's a very raw character. All of his past events that have happened to him as a child make him that much more realistic and that much more human. The way Maggie Stiefvater intertwines his story with Grace's and the actual werewolf plot is more poetic and amazing and human than anything, and that's what makes him such a beautiful character, is that he's this beast when he turns. He's this really angry wolf, yet when he turns back he's able to change all that. He's a very soft and emotional yet strong character who really wants to fight for everyone around him, wants to fight for his family and friends, and that's what makes him so inspiring and lovable and caring, and someone you just want to read about forever. I feel like I can just be a part of the world with him. I feel like I can hear him singing, I can hear him playing the guitar. I feel like I know him by the end of the series, and that's why it was so hard to finish the last book, because it was definitely sinking in, be like, oh, this is the last time I'm going to be able to read about Sam. So that's why Sam is number 2 on my list. Definitely the most powerful, and I just love him to pieces as well. Alright guys, so now it's time to talk about number 1 on my list, and that person is Etienne St. Clair from Anna and the French Kiss, and also from Lola and the Boy Next Door. So why did I choose Etienne? It's very simple. He is the most charming and hilarious character I've ever read about. There's just so many qualities about him that just make you fall in love with him, and his interactions with Anna and all the different characters is just so entertaining, so funny, and it's what makes him so great. Something so special. I don't know how to explain it. You just have to read the series to experience all of his amazing qualities, because I just find him so out of this world that I've never read a main character like him before. He's kind of like, if you picture a fairy tale, the essential prince that comes to mind, he's that, but just made more realistic and into a modern day plot. I just could not get over how realistic and amazing he was in this series, and the way everything just happened and the way he developed and just everything, like the whole story. And with him and Anna is just amazing. He's just that guy you just want, everyone just wants, like every girl just wants to have in their life. Stephanie Perkins was able to create that kind of guy that you can believe in, and that's very, very believable, and him and Anna together create some serious magic. From page 1 to the end, you are just hooked by Etienne's charming and entertaining and hilarious personality. What's awesome is you get to read Lola and the Boy Next Door, which follows a different main character, but you still get to experience St. Clair and Anna's relationship and see them in kind of the back plot, and I just love him to lots of pieces. He is just amazing. Alright guys, so that was my top 6 list. I really hope you enjoyed. Like I said, all the links will be in the down bar for my accounts and things like that. Let me know what your favorite male characters are of all time. And yeah, so thank you very much for watching and subscribing. So like I said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!